Gurvaya Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadhavaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo. So we're going to carry on with the Vedic explanations of tarot cards. And the next card is Emperior card. Emperior card carries stat number 4 in Major Arcana. So in general, Emperor is understood as authority figure, a controller. It's ruled by Aries. That's when the zodiac starts in tarot cards in Major Arcana. So it's the first zodiac sign before its planets. So now it's the first zodiac Aries. So it's all about initiation, activity, control, conquering, power, establishing leadership. So this is the kind of card that reflects all these qualities in reading. It's also about the figure of the Father of the universe. So now when we're looking in a Vedic conception, Father of the universe is understood in few different layers. So the first layer, we can see Mother Shiva. When we spoke before that Empress card can be seen as Durga Devi, then Emperor card can be seen as Mother Shiva, because he is in a control of this total manifestation. He rules all the planetary systems. He brings the soul into this material world and gives him false identification, ability to identify with this material body. So therefore, he's in charge of false ego. So in a Vedic understanding, the false ego is the finest layer of material elements. So therefore she was in charge of it. And if we look, this card also represents us as being like a strong, dominant person, identifying ourselves in this world as a doer, as a person who's acting like this. Now, in a higher level, Emperor card can be also seen as a universal, like a creator, in terms of like who made this, like an ultimate emperor, ultimate father, ultimate godhead. So, in one of the books I'm working on, I wrote there like this deck of cards, tarot card deck, can be seen also as manifestation of universal form of Godhead. Yes. So those who don't know, there's a book called Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, there's 18 different chapters, 18 different yogas, 18 different spiritual paths. And as one goes through different scriptures in India, he quickly realizes there's infinite amount of scriptures. It's not one book or two books like we have in the West. You know that one book, it's about the whole thing, like Bible or Quran, or it just breaks down to one book. In Vedic knowledge, there's an infinite amount of books, and one can get lost in that labyrinth. So to make it like to see it as a mandala, there's one central book that everyone is accepting and have their own commentaries on it. So any temple you go, they know this book, they have an understanding of this book, they have their own interpretation of that book. This book is called Bhagavad Gita, and it's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. And it has taken place like in a most vital time in history, like 5,000 years ago, when there was a massive battle between let's say simple words, good and evil, yeah, dharma, adharma, the righteousness and deceptive side of the world trying to take the power by evil deeds in a way, yeah. And yeah, this card very much relates to that situation. So there was one warrior, his name was Arjuna, and he basically broke down before the war started, and he was not able to fight, and therefore his good friend Krishna, he instructed him in spiritual knowledge. So he spoke this book called Bhagavad Gita. It took about 2 hours, and he kind of woke him up out of his sympathetic or compassionate state that had actually no reason for him to execute, because he was from the class of warriors. So Emperor card again. And in that book there's one chapter, it's called Universal Form. So as Krishna is understood as a simple person, or as a king, or as a mystic, he's also understood as like the super soul and an ultimate Godhead. Yeah, it depends on a person who's viewing and how much research they have done. So to prove that, he showed Arjun his universal form, and that means there was not one like God, central God. There was an unlimited Godheads merged together. So many different forms, so many different jewelries, garlands, different faces. Some were very fearsome, some were kind. So when Arjun saw, it was just all around him in all directions, and he see the time also working in it, and he see how everything is destroyed by this universal form and how no one has power over it. So it was the ultimate authority. It's like an akashic form of Godhead. And tarot can be seen in one way, all the cards together. If you look 7 8 cards, there's all this, there's good, there's bad, everything is together in one deck. Yeah, so you can also see it as a universal form of Godhead. So sometimes people ask which card is the God. You can see all of them together as Godhead and a universe, and you in that universe, and you are ruled by the time. Regardless who you are, the time will come and it will create everything, destroy everything. It will give you everything, take everything. No one has power over time. So many tarot readers, occult readers also connect time with the Emperor card because it's the ultimate authority. Time is the most powerful element in one way. So Shiva Mada is also linked to the time, and so Vishnu Tattva. And some of the teachings, also Shiva and Vishnu, are considered to be very similar because they have a similar nature in creating this world. Shiva also is Krishna, but it's Krishna in a form of a servant, not as a God himself. He never actually accepts that I am God, but rather I'm a servant of God. I'm meditating on a God. When you see Shiva's pictures, he's always in a meditation. So if you say, you should ask, anyone should ask, well, who is he meditating on? What's his purpose of meditation? The idea of meditation is focusing on some specific subject matter. It's either focusing on your own soul, focusing on impersonal light, focusing on a personal form of God. Yeah, that's the idea of meditation, focusing on something. So Mahadev is the ultimate yogi, is the ultimate personality who teaching any kind of spirituality. So who is he focusing on? So he's always actually meditating on a multiple different avatars of the original Godhead. Yeah, and the tip of that is Krishna himself. So now, as we speak about Emperor card, when he comes up in the readings, it can relate to other people, it can relate to you, it depends on the surrounding cards, and it can be always seen together as with the Empress card, and as they look towards each other. Yes, so it's a combination of two. And if you add this number together, you get a number 7, which is this Chariot card. And in esoteric understanding, you can also see both this feminine side, masculine side that actually represents you. Yeah, polarity, left and right side of the brain, internal and external, the compassionate side of you and the conquering side of you, or the aggressive side of you, and how they blend together. So they can indicate your psychology, or they can indicate also duality in the external world. And these cards, they meet on a lover's card, and they blend together. And they also meet in a Chariot card, where a Chariot card, we'll come to this of course in one of the videos, but Chariot card in quick essence, it is speak about your body and how the soul is riding in it. Yes, so physical body is the chariot and the soul is the driver. So these two cards form the chariot together. Yes. Okay, so I think this is the quick overview of Emperior card. Have a good time, and see you in the next video. Ciao.